Hello, friends. Welcome back to Aaron's Anxiety. I am your host, Aaron, your personal guide through anxiety. So, today, before we get started, hit the like button. Hit it, hit it, hit it. Why aren't you hitting it? You're watching me. Your thumb is so close. It's right there. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Hit the like button. Comment, subscribe. And, if you want a little bit more of this content or a little bit more support, feel free to join us on Facebook at the Aaron's Anxiety Family. On Facebook, we would love to help you out as much as we can. Actually, I should be doing that backwards. Aaron's Anxiety Family should be backwards for you because you're looking at me, so Aaron's Anxiety Family. So, because we read left to right. Unless you're in China, then I'm going to say Aaron's Anxiety Family. They read up and down. Fun fact for the day if you didn't know. So, today's lesson is if you're going through the thicket, one of the best advice tips that I can give out is to try to keep your brain occupado. You know what I mean? Try to keep your brain as occupied as you can, because otherwise you're just going to sit there and drive yourself crazy. So if you're like me, when I was in the thicket, I would get into these situations where I was so engrossed with whatever I was doing that I would almost forget about my anxiety for a while. Now, at the time, even though you forget about it, you're going to bring it back up pretty quickly. Because what we're doing is we're constantly trying to figure out how we feel. We're constantly trying to analyze what's going on, how am I feeling, what's this feeling, oh, is this, my arm feels a little weird, I feel a little fuzzy on the inside. My head feels a little bit weird. I have a headache. Is it because of my medications? Because of my anxiety? Blah, blah, blah. Which is also another side note. I keep wanting to bring it up. Just because you have a certain symptom, whether that could be a headache, nausea, whatever it could be, it's not always going to be related to your anxiety. Okay? Like sometimes I'll get a headache and I'll think, man, was it because of my Lexapro or something like that? Or is it because of not having enough caffeine, things like that? No. Sometimes, like here, there's snow on the ground, and so what my crappy town does, because salt is apparently expensive, so they throw dirt and mud on the ground, and what that ends up resulting in is all the pollen and things from when they collected the dirt is in it, and so when they spring it, it throws all these I don't even know, allergens into the air, and it makes me have a headache, makes me have pressure and things like that. So keep that in mind as well. So, but we need to avert our attention from the anxiety as much as we can. Now it's going to be hard. It's not something that's going to be like, oh, I'm just going to tell you what to do and you're going to do it, and I didn't think about it for a while. It's going to be hard. You're like, keep in mind, it took you a while to build up all this anxiety. So many times people will build up this anxiety and they want it to go away overnight. No, it took a while to get here. It's going to take a while to leave. I tell that to everybody all the time. You can't find, that I know of, there's no overnight boom thing that's going to make it completely better. But what we can do is, while we're working on it, is we can try to take little vacations away from it. So what I used to do, as some of you know, is I used to play video games. Okay, I don't play a whole lot of video games in regular life. However, when I was in the thicket of anxiety, I knew I needed to take my brain off of what I was feeling. So what I ended up doing is I Googled, because I had a PlayStation, but we were mostly using it for Netflix and things like that, and movies. But I Googled, compelling games or great storyline games, and I ended up coming up with a few. If you guys are gamers out there, I ended up coming up with a game called Infamous. And I played them for PlayStation 3, and then they even have one for PlayStation 4. Highly recommend those games. Those are awesome, but they're immersive. You get involved in the character, in the story, and all this other stuff. And so you're so busy because it's an interactive thing. It's not just like a movie. Like, you're interactive. It's problem solving and interaction, and it causes you to forget about what's going on with your anxiety and focus on, how am I going to figure out how to beat this guy, or how am I going to figure out how to get into this building, blah, blah, blah. So keep that in mind. Now, that's just one way, okay? There's other ways to do it. Hobbies, I always say hobbies are a godsend for people. You should be doing something constructive. And hobbies are a way that I consider to be, constructive. Not every hobby is constructive, but if it's getting you away from your anxiety, that's constructive. Okay, so for me, I got hobbies up the yin yang. I got so many hobbies. I am the guy of hobbies. Okay, I have honeybees. I play guitar. I play a little bit of piano. What else do? I do all kinds of stuff. I love watches, vintage watches. This is a 1964 Bulova automatic. This thing is 56? Something like that. So, I like things like that. I get into money, like old currencies, $500 bills. Those are cool. Just old currencies from the 20s, like things like that. There's so many hobbies out here. You can literally go in. Here's the crazy part. There are so many hobbies out here. You don't even have to invent one. They got crazy ones. So as you know, there is a national convention in Las Vegas, Nevada every year for people who collect barbed wire. That's a lot. They collect barbed wire, and I don't know what all goes into barbed wire. I know that they have razor barbed wire. I know that they have pokey barbed wire. And I know that they have spools of barbed wire. That's about all I know. And it's either to keep people out or keep people in. That's all I got. But I guarantee you, if I were to go there to the barbed wire convention, I would be like, this is crazy cool. There's so much cool stuff about barbed wire. So that's just one example of all the crazy things that are out there. Literally, whatever you like or have an interest in, there are other people that have interest in that too. And you can find these people and start a hobby. And that's a great way to get your mind off of things. You know what I mean? Like for beekeeping, my beekeeping season is about to start. I got my bees. So for those of you who don't know, when you get bees, if your bees die, you order a package of bees, and it's a 3-pound box with a bunch of bees in it. There's 3 pounds of bees in it. It's like 10,000 bees. And you put that into your hives. Well, I got my bees ordered, so I'm looking up stuff online about, videos on it and reading books on it. And I have all kinds of information. I'm constantly keeping my brain going at all times. And that's even outside of, my child, my wife, and things like that. Right now, I'm sitting in my friend's driveway because we are making maple syrup. That's what I'm doing today. So my life is filled with literally watching paint dry. That's why I have patience. I watch paint dry, and then when I get done painting, I come over here and now I'm watching water boil. So that's what I'm doing today. So, but that's just one more thing. You know what I mean? We tap all the maple trees right now. If you're interested, you can tap maple trees right now. You tap them, sap comes down, you put it on a boil, it boils off all the water. It's a crazy mixture. It's like 40 gallons of sap makes 1 gallon of syrup. That's a lot of evaporation. It's like 11 hours. It's forever. And so that's what I'm doing today. Right now, I'm literally sitting in his driveway, staring at a wood burner with pots on it. So, but it's something to do, and it keeps my mind occupied. And these are actually valuable things that I can teach my son someday, or anybody else who is interested to do it. I got people talking to me about beekeeping all the time, so that keeps me interested. So what I'm saying is, whatever it is, on the whole, as long as it is occupying your brain, that's less time you're thinking about other things. And slowly but surely, you're going to retrain your brain to stop trying to figure out what's going on in your body. You don't need to know every little nook and cranny of what's going on in your body. You're not a doctor, and if you were, that's still not going to be beneficial to you. You don't need to be sitting there analyzing, how does this feel? How does that feel? How do we feel down? You know what I mean? It doesn't help. So, check some out. If you guys have an interesting hobby, or even a regular hobby, put it in the comments below. I'd like to know what your hobby is. I love hobbies. Hobbies are so fun. And I can get into just about anything. Literally, I'm watching water boil. I can get into anything. All right, friends. Well, I hope this video is helpful. Please do some things to get your mind off of this anxiety. At least take that anxiety backpack off for a while and just go, get your brain focused on something else. You'll love it. All right, friends. Until next time, I'm Aaron. You're awesome. And I'll see you in the next video.